Hey, are you still doing fitness plans? I am looking to get one for my wife as a late Christmas present.
I am indeed. What kind of plan are you looking for?
Just a general weight loss plan. Do you do meal plans as well? If you do, I'd like to pick up one of those as well.
I can do both meal plans and exercise plans. For a combined fitness and meal plan, it's $50. So does that sound good to you?
Yeah, for sure. Also, do you think you can get it done before tomorrow? She's leaving with her friends for a getaway thing and I want to give it to her in person before she goes.
I mean, I suppose if I started on it now I could get it done by around 3 to 4 p.m. tomorrow, is that okay? Also, can I get your wife's measurement height, weight, age, and activity level to calculate how many calories she burns for the meal plan?
That time sounds good. Also, I know you're not gonna like the sound of this, but I don't actually know her measurements exactly, and if I asked her, it'd kind of ruin the surprise and seem kinda offensive. If I had to guess, she's around 160 to 170 pounds, 5 feet 6 inches-ish, 34, doesn't really leave the house apart from going shopping.
Okay, I supposed I can work with that. If she has any exercise preferences, injuries, please let me know. Hi, the fitness plan is ready now. Do you have an email I can send it to, or should I send it to you via a Dropbox link? As for payment, my PayPal is at gmail.com. I can also take payment via crypto.
PayPal works for me. I'll be getting paid on the 2nd of January, so I'll be able to pay you then.
Okay, I'll send you the plan upon payment.
Is there any chance you'd be able to send it today? My wife is heading away in an hour and I don't want to leave her empty-handed.
If you're able to send me a deposit of $30, I'll send it to you. I never send any plans without payment. I'm sorry if it's inconvenient for you, but it's my personal policy.
Please have faith. I promise you I'll pay you on the 2nd. My marriage is in a bad enough spot as it is and I can't afford to be embarrassed again. I already told her that she'd be getting a present today. Please, I need this.
I'm sorry, but if you can't afford to pay for a fitness plan, then I'm not able to give it to you. You asked me to make you a fitness plan on a very short notice over the Christmas period. Usually I would have added an additional fee for a rushed order, but this time I decided to give you a bit more leeway. I'm sorry, but I can't make any more concessions. I don't understand why you'd agree on a price despite knowing you wouldn't be able to pay for it.
If you had a wife, you'd understand. If you've made it, I don't understand why you're withholding it from me when you made it. My marriage is at stake here and you're not sending it to me. Do you take some kind of pleasure from this? Why are you being difficult on purpose?
I'm sorry, but I can't send it to you without payment. I don't make fitness plans for fun, this is my job. Tell your wife that her late Christmas present will have to come a little later. For our next story. A man gets invited to an all-expense-paid trip to France to celebrate his niece's graduation. He wants to delay it a year so his pregnant wife can ski. As a graduation present for my niece, my sister and brother-in-law let her choose where they spend their 2-week next year holidays, and my niece chose Courchevel, France. As my sister has connections with a hotel there, she invited my wife and I, as well as a few other family members, to join them on this trip, all expenses paid. The concierge has been booking activities and restaurants for ages. This was in February, so the trip was about 11 months away, and at that time my wife got pregnant. The problem is my wife loves all winter sports and activities, but because of her condition she cannot participate in 2/3 of what was organized. My sister said it's fine, the hotel has 2 floors of spa and wellness facilities and there's plenty to do outside of physical activities in the area, which some other family will be doing anyway, and we can always ask the concierge for appropriate experiences. This won't work as my wife doesn't like being left out and winter really is her favorite season, and we can't afford a trip like this ourselves. It's really upsetting to her that she won't be part of the group to go skiing or biking. She'd have to see photos or hear about it later. I've asked my sister if we can postpone the trip, but she said that's out of the question as my niece goes to college in February and so much time and money went into this trip already. I asked maybe we could go somewhere warm where my wife won't feel as bad for not participating in water activities, but my sister said this wasn't a decision for my wife and I to make, since we were the guests. We've come to a standstill where I called my sister selfish and inconsiderate, and she said that's hypocritical since I want to change 8 people's plans due to my family planning. She told our parents and they called me to prepare for being unable to attend or do many things in the upcoming years. Parenting means putting your own wishes to the side. They told us to be glad for the trip we'll have even if we can't do everything as planned. We'll need to learn to be flexible soon anyway. But I feel like that's beyond the point. This trip was organized to make everyone happy, and now my wife will be excluded from most of it. It feels really unfair to her, especially when this can all be scheduled for next year or something. Am I the jerk?
Our next story, titled Adults Get Upset When They're Given Inexpensive Gifts for Christmas because they're a doctor. Folks, this is what my in-laws sent for the holidays. My husband and I are both shocked year after year. This year is particularly bad. My now husband is a medical doctor and I'm a teacher, both based in New York City area. My in-laws are retired dentist and pharmacist in Miami. We sent 2 nice Sherpa jackets for Dad and for Mom, a 1 leather pouch from Portland Leather and a facial care set from a German organic brand. All were well wrapped with notes. We both are really tired of getting somehow basic gifts, almost no thoughts put into it. I want to stop the gift exchange, but my husband just responds, "Thank you." How do you guys think about this? We are really not looking forward to anything they send anymore.
My neighbors asked to borrow ketchup on our neighborhood Facebook group. I said she can have some of mine. She came over to my house to pick it up and gave me attitude because it was Hunt's ketchup and not Heinz ketchup. So, I pulled it back and refused to give it to her. Now she posts about our altercation on a neighborhood app. What I am saying is we're living in the stupidest timeline in history.
A Karen begs for food on a Facebook group about how hungry she is, and denies our food because the type of food it was. The post says,
"Hi, I'm staying anonymous because of previous negative comments in the past. My partner and I are currently homeless and living in a tent. We have nothing, and was wondering if there were any nice people that could help us out. We have no food, no water, and nothing to cook with or eat from. Please, I've tried every solution possible, and am getting nowhere. We haven't eaten properly in 3 to 4 days. We are located on Hobart, we have no transportation, so a drop-off would be greatly appreciated."
Okay, I can cook some Nepalese dal bhat, curry, and other foods during weekends and drop it off to you.
As yummy as it sounds, we don't eat curry food.
Our final story for today, I lent my friend money and she berated me. It started at the beginning of September. My friend called me in tears saying that she needs 150 euros in our country's currency because she has some debt to her university and she doesn't even know how she will survive the month because she has no food and money, etc. I was in a rush between doctors' appointments back then and did not have patience for her, so I just asked for her bank account number and transferred the money because she claimed she is getting a job this month and will repay me next month. We are both university students and have been close friends for the past 6 or 7 years. She seems to have never really had a job and is not excelling or seems to finish her bachelor's either. I am about to finish my master's and, because of my dad's way of parenting, I had to take care of myself and have been working for the past 5 years. Therefore, I have been independent since then. The 150 euros in my country is more than 1 week's pay at my student job. I work hourly for about 4.5 euros an hour. I am taking part in an Erasmus exchange program starting from February in a different part of the EU where they have their currency in euros. So my plan was to take every extra dime I had and exchange it into euros when the exchange rate was a bit lower. I paid M not from my savings, but from my everyday life expenses account. M did not say anything about the money until our phone call on New Year's Eve. She said she has the money in an envelope and is willing to give it back if I come to her house, because I never visit and neglect her. I was glad that she brought it up and that I did not have to, even if her comments hurt a bit. But on the 1st, she called me back again and started berating me for asking for the money back and why I did not bring it up before if I was in such need. She asked for a detailed breakdown of my finances, and I told you what I wrote down above, although I felt really uncomfortable. She then berated me for buying Levi's jeans. I have 3 pairs, having and spending much more money than she has at all, not helping my friends out in need, not meeting her that much and only inviting her to programs that include drinking because she can't afford programs that include drinking, etc. She also said she thinks she has cancer or some serious illness and that I know that she is depressed and I am partly responsible for her because I am her close friend. I am thinking about leaving this friendship all behind, but I feel like I have to get the money back, because in this economy and moving to another country, I need every dime to live approximately comfortably.